And welcome everybody to episode 47 of the HOU.SEC.CAST, the HOU.SEC.CON podcast. Joined here by bestie Sam Van Ryder. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little far from the house. You're really far from the house. Recording all well. I don't know.
We should do one of these in a different language at some point. I'm just maybe give it a shot.
I can do Southern English.
That's close enough. We'll do Southern. That's close enough.
Yeah, you get somebody that's a German speaker or something. You can y'all can go to town over there. So. Well, we got Sean Jones and Kaloyan Ivanov from GroupSense on. So they're going to be coming in and speaking on cyber communities, threat intel type stuff. It's going to be an exciting talk. We've got a candidate for our furthest traveling person, right?
Yeah, it could be the longest traveler or the furthest from Houston coming in from overseas, which is awesome. We've had people from overseas before, but it feels like we're going global to some degree, right? So it's just really cool. It's just really cool. We have global teams to begin with, but it's really cool to have folks like that join us.
Yeah, we've been worldwide a while, but now we just it feels like we're getting a lot more of that, which we are. So it's good to have somebody come over. The talk's going to be great, so I'm looking forward to this discussion with them. Let's get going, man.
Yeah, let's go.
And everybody, we are joined by I think this is probably going to be one of our more fun deep tech conversations. Sean or Sam, what do you think?
I think so. Looks really cool.
Yeah. I think we've got Sean and Kaloyan in the deep tech track, if I remember correctly.
I believe that's correct.
Yep. So Sean, Kaloyan, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
I'm doing phenomenal. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Great to have you. Excited. So for everybody on here, Sean Jones, Senior Manager at GroupSense. I've known Sean for, good Lord, I don't know how long. It's been a really long time.
15 years.
Yeah. I mean, you've come out to HOU.SEC.CON for a long time. You did training back when we were at Alert. You were at Alert Logic, and we were at Alert Logic together for a little bit back in the day.
Yes.
So Kaloyan Ivanov, Threat Intelligence Manager at GroupSense. So you guys work together, and you are going to do a talk together at HOU.SEC.CON, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Good.
We've been working together with Sean for 5 years now. So
nice. Yeah. Yep. Well, we are going to get into your talk, and talk about you guys, talk about all kinds of cool stuff about what you're doing these days. I'm excited to have you coming all the way from Europe, Kaloyan, and as well in Bulgaria. So that's a cool. But I think we were talking about it before, Sam. They might be the longest. Might have the record this year for the longest trip.
That's right. Furthest traveled. That's great. We're going global, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, we thought we were just going national. We're going international. This is awesome. All right. Well, before we get into that, we are going to talk about HOU.SEC.CON, everything that's upcoming with HOU.SEC.CON. So let's get into that, Sam.
So let's talk about CyberSec.Media first. So we have 2 books and tickets left. So go ahead and subscribe for the book raffle and have a chance to win the book. But we also follow us for the chance to win a ticket, right? So a couple of easy things for you to do and be part of the community. And if you'd like to contribute to the CyberSec.Media site, or you'd like to become an advertiser, please reach out to us at media@cscgroupllc.com. We'd love to hear from you. As far as the user group goes, we have our next one is on August 28th in downtown Houston at our fantastic partners, the Neutrality Data Center. Always thankful for their assistance and support on offering us a space. And we have John Podolenko, the Senior Manager of Incident Response and Security Operations, who will be presenting. He's with PVH. And we are graciously sponsored by SquareX. If you've ever been, we always have good food. And SquareX, thank you for sponsoring out there. We're also looking for a November sponsor. So that's one that we still have open. If you're interested in getting exposure and supporting the community, please reach out. We'd love to have you. And for HOU.SEC.CON, the agenda's out. Go to the website. We have a ton of great content, over 100 sessions or 100 sessions and 10 tracks. So over 2 days. So it's fantastic. But we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have the keynote a little later in the day. So we're not going to have it first thing in the morning. The reason for that is to make sure we can get as many people that have it, because we have Dimitri doing our starting keynote, and I know a lot of folks want to be there for it. So we'll make sure that everyone, as many as people can be in that auditorium as we can get. But as we also still are starting early at regular time, so 9:30 is the first session. And for those 10 tracks in each of the sessions, we have 100 of these really cool gifts that I'm not going to tell you about. I'm not going to disclose what they are. But if you're there, the first 100 attendees will get one. They're going to be limited, and they're very, very cool. I've seen them. So the next thing, app, our app that we have, it's out. So look for HOU.SEC.CON in Apple or the Google store. That's HOU.SEC.CON. Look for that in the Apple or the Google store. You should find it. There you can build your agenda and also sign up for workshops, which is important because there is limited seating in these workshops, and we know there's a lot of interest. So be sure to do that. Download that now. Get on the list. Get into workshops. Make sure you're set up for your conference experience too. So the mentor workshop being one of those, we do have a call for mentors, and in the show notes we'll have here is to go to our website. It's HOU.SEC.CON.com/mentorship to learn more, but we are looking for mentors. So if you want to help our community out, help grow that next cybersecurity expert or team, we'd love to have you be part of this. It's really important. And then we're getting close to cutting off the sponsorships. So sponsorships have been selling great, and we appreciate all our sponsors and their support. It's been super important for us to be able to drive this whole effort with those sponsors, but we have some still available. So please reach out to the sponsor wrangler at HOU.SEC.CON.com, or you can go to our website, which is HOU.SEC.CON.com/prospectus, and you can get a lot more information on it.
Okay, now that we got done with the HOU.SEC.CON segment, let's talk about the article. So Sean, you sent over an article on dark forums. So the title, Dark Forums Rushes to Hide After Hacker Exposes IPs, User IPs. So it looks like they had an SSRF issue, possibly, maybe. They didn't completely confirm it, but it looks like it's the case. Why don't you get into why that's kind of an exciting or big deal for what you do every day?
Really, the reason why I find it exciting is who else knew? Because we know that the governments are always on these forums, and it could be that, one, two, multiple governments have already exploited this vulnerability and already started collecting information on these users. That's why I find it exciting. Who else did it before everybody else found out about it?
Yeah. Do you think like exposing something like this by somebody else, by somebody that's looking for it, it's like any other vulnerability out there. There's somebody who's probably knew about it before this person just exposed it. There's probably somebody from the government's probably mad.
Oh, yes, you are raising my conspiracy theory alarms.
I don't think that's too big of a conspiracy theory. It's Tor, everything behind Tor. The government's going after it all the time. So, yeah.
Well, forgive my ignorance on this, but I'm not as deep technical as you guys are day to day. What is the issue? Like, wouldn't IP masking have helped in this case? Like, is there really a risk of being able to find out what the sources were that were on there?
Well,
after you, Kaloyan.
Yeah, thank you. So this forum has on a lot of users. Some of them have really strong OPSEC, operational security, so they will be able to obfuscate their IPs. But on the other hand, you have some lower level threat actors who are not so afraid of the government, so they don't really put effort into hiding their IP addresses, not using any kind of obfuscation. So definitely there might be some IPs which belong to their personal networks. So,
and also OPSEC failures can occur. I have suffered one of those at one point in time.
Yeah,
sounds like a lot of work though to trace those back, though. I mean, if there's that many users on the thing, it seems like that would be a lot of work. It may be worth it. I don't know. I just bring that up as a thought. It sounds just like a lot of work to figure it out.
It will be easy to determine if they belong to any known VPN services or known SOC services. So yeah, definitely will be a lot of effort, and the end result might get you someone. But I mean, that's one of the things in our job. We go through a lot of data to find the one thing that might be there to help us identify the threat actor on the other end.
Yeah, like you said with OPSEC, I mean, if you're connecting whatever services is in front of it, if it's Tor or whatever, but you're using another service to connect to that, and I mean, it's probably going to be slow as hell, but if you got multiple connections like that. But I guess if you're just on a forum and you're just trying to find out, it's like, it's just not that big of a deal. You're not trying to do any streaming or anything, but
yeah, the forum itself also has a ClearWeb link domain, so people don't necessarily need Tor to access it.
But they said they put up another Tor service in front of it after they got popped. So they were either they weren't using it before, or people weren't using that primarily, and then they put that up in place to start obfuscating even better. But I mean, isn't Tor pretty already kind of, the governments are already all in Tor? I mean, how secure is that really from an OPSEC perspective?
Well, nothing is secure. With enough effort and time, you can get to anyone and any information if you have the resources. So it adds a layer to protecting people from different people, because one of the things that in this community, threat actor community, is it's not one undividable mass. There are groups within there which are having conflicts and trying to identify each other, doxing each other. So it adds an additional layer of protection in between them, and
And you can also stack masking, IP masking, like use Tor and a VPN. That provides additional protections. Not perfect, nothing's perfect, but it's better than nothing.
So do you, from y'all's day-to-day job, I mean, are y'all looking into these forums, or y'all, because I mean, you've got to practice the same masking, right? The same OPSEC. You've got to do multiple things so they don't know that there's somebody in there checking out what they're doing and then using that, as good guys. So, I mean, without giving it away, how many layers you got where you're hiding?
the more layers we have, the better, because actually we try to have even better OPSEC than the bad guys. Since we are trying to disrupt their operations, we are doing some let's say we are very, very bad thing for them, so they want to catch us as well. We are trying our best. Of course, nothing is secure, as I said. There's nothing 100% secure, but we try to put as much layers as possible. I would say at least 5 or 6 layers of different obfuscation or separation of our personal environment.
Yeah, we're hiding from governments and hackers.
Yeah.
That's what I wondered. Those are like questions I had. It's like, how often do you have to worry about the government? Because I mean, you're doing good stuff, but you got other governments who kind of support criminal gangs, so they may have people coming after you. Then you got people dedicated probably in those gangs to finding people like yourself to kick you out. I mean, that's a lot to worry about. You got to practice even deeper level OPSEC.
Yeah, and actually we already had some situations in which threat actors got mad directly at us, and they tried to dox us and to identify who are the people behind those that intelligence, and trying to find us in the real life. So yeah, that's why we have to practice OPSEC not only during the work hours, but afterwards as well.
What time? Yeah. Well, I mean, you consider that. I mean, there's potential physical danger as well in what you're doing, right? So,
especially since I'm so close to Russia.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Well, stay safe, man. Anything you're doing good work out there.
We're
So
expecting you in October or September, right? So
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Okay,
good. All right. Well, thanks for the article. Interesting to see and talk about the OPSEC that everybody has to practice out there, and somebody maybe not, like you said, Kaloyan, maybe not care, but if they're protected by their government and stuff. But it's just interesting to see the different levels, and hope you keep fighting out there, because we need people like y'all to keep fighting against these bad people. All right. Well, we are going to jump onto a commercial break, or just a break. So we will see you on the other side. And we're back. So everybody that watches this, listens to us, knows we try to get into the personal history of our guests. Not too personal, get as personal as you want, but we want to talk about what got you into cyber in the first place, kind of what feeds your passion in doing this. Kaloyan, if you want to go first on it, kind of, give us a rundown. What made you start hunting bad guys?
Yeah. So my interest in cybersecurity, specifically in threat intelligence, popped up when I was in university. Actually, my bachelor is in international relations and political sciences. So I was doing research for one assignment in university. I don't remember which course was it, but I was talking generally about the whole cybersecurity policy in Europe at that time, and how critical infrastructure is vulnerable, and how can we protect as a union, as European Union, from some bad actors. So yeah. First, I was looking at the whole point only from the political side, but then I started going more into the details, and I saw, okay, that's something interesting that can be done, how people get access to those things. And yeah, that was my first touch with cybersecurity. Later on, when I finished my my degree, I was just looking for a job and saw GroupSense. And actually, the whole position described the way it is piqued my interest. I mean, research, some cybersecurity, some political things. So yeah, and yeah, that's how I started in cybersecurity, specifically in threat intelligence. I think that threat intelligence, it has this opportunity to in this area, you can see everything. You can see also from the blue teams, the red teams, the threat actors. You have to understand from everything a little bit in order to be able to do your job, and that's what makes it interesting. And since I started, I'm getting more and more motivated to learn and dig deeper into the whole area. Yeah.
I imagine your European background, being that's where you're from, helps. Just, I mean, we don't, in the U.S. we kind of get shielded from it, and I mean, I know we've got people that have, they're threat actors within the U.S., but it's generally a lot harder in our area to do that than it is in some European countries that actually, like what we talked about earlier, kind of encourage it in some ways. How did that, I mean, with your international relations um, background and that interest, and then in the cyber, I mean, how did that come together for you from a GroupSense perspective? Were they looking for somebody that specifically had your background, or?
Well, Since most of the threat actors are Russian speaking or East European, knowledge of the language is one of the things that's really helpful. On the other side, my background as a researcher of international relations and political issues helps a lot when we need to go investigating certain incidents. So the analytical thinking, the critical thinking, the ability to see the bigger picture and to put all the details into some shape, and being able to identify it as something that really helps. But yeah, actually, from my experience and the colleagues I've been working with, some of the best threat intelligence researchers have similar backgrounds, political sciences or national security or even military.
Do you would you consider your physical location advantage, like kind of, if you will, being on the front lines of sorts? Because where you are, I mean, you're close to some juicy stuff, right?
Yeah, advantage and disadvantage in the same time. From time zone, we are much closer. So being able to communicate with the threat actors in their time zone shows them that we might be one of their guys, and that helps when we infiltrate in there. But disadvantage, actually, I have here one really interesting story that I can share. 2 years ago, I had a talk at B-Sides, Sofia. So we were talking with one of my colleagues at the stage, and we wanted to show people how easy it is for them to get doxed by threat actors and how to protect themselves, how to maintain operational security. So we wanted to show some database being sold on one of the forums that's specifically targeting Bulgarian citizens. And later on, after the talk, 1 or 2 days later, on the same forum, it was a picture of me presenting, and say from the same threat actor. It turns out he was in the audience. Of course, we found who he is, so we know his name and where he lives.
He thought he was being smart, but now you know. Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to be cool, like the serial killer going back to the scene of the murder, right? It's like
exactly.
You quit trying to be so arrogant. Yeah. Interesting.
Well, Sean, what about you? What got you into cyber? What was your path into cyber, and how did you get where you are today?
Oh man, my path is interesting. I think just growing up, I didn't want to be poor, so in high school, I decided I'm a go to a technical school. Excuse me, to learn how to use OSs and manage a network, things like that. And this was over 20 years ago. I'm a bit older than Kaloyan. So literally graduated on a Friday, was hired, started working on a Monday, and I was hired as a network administrator to manage an NT40 network. Again, showing my age. But we were a division of a larger corporation that was based here in Houston, Texas. At the time, I was living in Pennsylvania, and the person who managed the whole network, he would give me projects, a lot of cybersecurity type projects, just because at the time the team was small and he was just asking for help. Hey, we need to do vulnerability scanning. So I set up a Nessus server, learn how to use Snort, learn how to, use Unix instead of, just using Windows all the time. He would give me projects like that. Did a lot of packet analysis, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. I really enjoyed this type of work, instead of just doing, regular network administration. So they needed somebody additional here at the Houston headquarters, and they invited me to come down work here. So I loaded up the family and put everybody in the truck. We moved to Houston, Texas.
You let him ride up front in the cab with you, though. Not in the back.
Yeah, I let him ride up to the cab with me.
Right.
No, it was just me and my girlfriend at the time, so we had plenty of space in the cab. So sort of working. I'm sorry, you about to say something?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So moved down here, and just whatever I did in Pittsburgh here was much bigger. 5,000 node frame relay network. Again, showing my age. And got to do a lot of awesome things. Set up SourceFire at the time. Got to set up proxy servers and content servers, things of that nature.
Yep.
Then from there, I moved to Alert Logic. And that's where me and Sam met, me and Michael. And I was working in the Security Operations Center. I worked in the Security Operations Center for, good grief, 12 years. Started as an analyst, made my way up to lead analyst over the team. Then I moved to what did they call us at the time? I forgot what they called the team, but my title was a cybercrime researcher. And I learned so much. I'm like, wow, this is it. And that's when I started getting into cyber intelligence. And to me, it was like I'm able to predict the future. I'm able to see it. You know, if I'll get in the right forums, I can see attacks before they happen because people talk about them. You know, it was the most amazing thing. You know, I started hanging on Telegram forums, IRC forums, web forums, you know, and gathering information, gathering IOCs, just gathering, you know, all types of information, reporting, hey, they're coming for you. Put your shields up. You know, it was just the most amazing thing to me to be able to. I'm now left a bang. I can see things before they happen in many cases.
Yeah.
You know, if I just got to be in the right place and gathering the right information.
That's cool to have a job though that just lets you go do that hunting, right? Just go find it, and then, I mean, the type of company that Alert Logic was, and that's what you were trying to do, is inform customers of what was going on and predict some of that stuff, and be able to inform your SOC to know that you need to watch out for certain things, and
right content and detection rules. Hey, this is what we're seeing now. Let's write these rules and content to get ready for it.
Know that it's coming down the pipe and get ready. That's good. That's cool stuff. And Alert Logic had a massive operation too. I mean,
yes.
It was like I remember traveling over to Cardiff, Wales to go see the WAF SOC over there, and just it's a huge operation at the time. There's a lot of customers to look out for. So
it grew pretty quickly.
Yep, it did.
That was pretty amazing.
Well, thanks for that rundown, Sean. So, and Kaloyan, we appreciate it. Good to know what those backgrounds are, why you got the passion. Sean, when you talk about what you did, I mean, there was that old way of getting into cyber, which was always interesting because you always start, you know, as the network person or whatever, and then get into it. Kaloyan being a little bit of a newer generation, you went like kind of right into it, but you have a very interesting entry into it from the international relations side and then getting into cyber. So both of those are really, really interesting stories, interesting paths. So I appreciate y'all running that down. So now that we got all that background, we want to talk about we want to talk about your presentation, but how your background's fed into that presentation as well. So why don't you give us, whoever wants to go, give us a rundown of what your talk's going to be about, high level, don't spoil it too much, but, and then let's get into it.
Should we want to do it?
I'll let you go, my friend.
Okay. So yeah, basically our idea when we were thinking what to present at HOU.SEC.CON was to shed some light on our job and what we do. So the thing just wrote itself, let's say. So yeah, we are going to talk how to go after the bad guys the best way we can, and that's just going among them and trying to catch the information they share among each other that it's not public yet. Based on our experience, mostly the forums are already crawling with different researchers. Some companies are collecting the data. So the threat actors learned that they cannot share the information in those forums. They learned that this information can be only shared to somebody that they trust. That's why we focused on human intelligence, creating personas and creating those sock puppets which can be believable and credible, and that they can see us as another threat actor wanting to do somebody harm and wanting to trade with them, wanting to exchange information. During our talk, we will be we'll be talking more how to identify the specific place where you can start creating the persona, how to protect yourself because of everything we said during during our conversation earlier. It brings some danger to the person doing it. So for us, operational security is one of the important things. And also the other challenges, since more or less we are dealing with criminals, and it can be really easy to step over the border, and in order to get information or to do your job, you might be tempted to do something bad yourself. So for us, it's really important to be able to keep each other in check and know that we are the good guys and we don't break the law. We might be ready not to get certain type of information, to sacrifice the intelligence in order to be on the good side. And yeah, so our backgrounds, I think mostly for me at least, help the international relations in a way of being able to identify different groups within those communities, what's the relation between those, and this way acting as them and being able to infiltrate and knowing what are the topics they're interested in, so we can talk with them and they can see us as one of them.
That's a interesting. Yeah, go ahead. I was just gonna say that's an interesting quagmire, right? Of we want to do good, we want to fight the good fight, and even gray areas. You're not talking about. I mean, there are gray areas that are unacceptable, and there are very clear black and white lines, but those gray areas, right? I mean, that's why we call them gray areas. Is for some it might be okay, but and then you got to ask yourself. I mean, that's just an interesting piece to me because it's how you grew up, it's how you're it's how you're raised, it's your environment, it's your team. Where are those lines? And very interesting. I it'll be interesting to hear that on your talk, just because that can be, to your point, it can be kind of tempting, and maybe it's not tempting consciously, but it's tempting. You think you're trying to do the right thing, so you're going to do something to try to fight, but it's maybe not a good idea.
Yeah, actually, it's very tempting sometimes when they are I mean, you can get the information how to do it, even if you don't have the technical knowledge. There is some threat actor shared with you one really easy guide how you can exploit a certain type of access because they want to sell the access to you.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, you see some encryptor and how much ransomware groups are making from ransoms, and you can get very tempted. You see how easy it is to step over or to step to the other side, but that's why we remind ourselves constantly we are the good guys. And although the lines can be blurry at some places, we try to put some clear definitions in.
So like process wise, operational, Sean, do y'all, is it a fairly normal, I don't know, just way of going about it with anybody who's doing this type of threat intel work that's going in it to have like buddies to back each other up to make sure you're watching over each other's shoulders? I mean, because in my mind, it's like you guys can help each other do that, but if you've just got a lone wolf going out there, it's really easy to start turning into Batman or something and just start doing some crazy stuff. So, I mean, do you see that as something that happens more often than not, where you try to get two people to help each other out, or?
I think that it's in the best policy to have at least two people working on this. Even much like you would do a pen test engagement. If you just got somebody that's doing the communication, somebody is making sure everything is collected correctly, just to have, like you said, oversight with each other. To make sure, yeah, these are the proper policies. They're being adhered to, and even down, if you want to get to an emotional level, because we're dealing with toxic situations and toxic places. Uh, if anything, there's an encouragement that can happen, or somebody may see something that's changing. Like Kaloyan may see something that's changing in me because I've been dealing with this toxic situation for 2 weeks. Hey, let's go out and have a Coke, eat some pizza, relax, because it's been tense for the last few weeks, things of that nature.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, just to watch each other back, ask how you're doing, right? The mental, I mean, it's far removed from this, but I mean, that's been a big topic that came up with the Air India crash, right? It's like you need to be, the pilots need to be talking to each other to make sure from a mental health standpoint. And this is an extremely stressful situation as well, where you're just hunting bad guys all day long. That can mess with your head. I get it.
Yeah, even in our industry, our industry can be very stressful. We, I know a few years ago they had a discussion about this even at DEF CON, because we tend to drink a lot. We tend to do a lot of self harm. These things, you got to have somebody to watch your back for changes in your emotional state.
Yep. It's encouraging to see more of those talks come up, even in like mainline conferences, not just B-sides and community conferences. We're starting to see more of those come up, and I've not chastised, but kind of thumped a little bit people who are like, "Oh, that's a soft topic. I don't care about that." It's like, well, there's a whole lot of people who do care about that. Yeah, need that help. So, and it's not just in the technical crowd. I mean, Sam knows. I mean, primarily when you're dealing with the sales side of it. I mean, it's just there's the people that you're dealing with are dealing with it. Like it's just mentally draining. So, well, I'm glad y'all are watching each other's backs. That's good stuff. Anything from your side, Sam?
No, just a good, I mean, that kind of wraps up on a good note on community, right? And how important community is and how important it is that we do this every year and get everybody together, so you get to know folks also outside your own team, right? Because you never know when you're going to need that help. And so uh, this part of the thing that you guys are doing is super important. I'm lucky to work with some very smart people in a similar type fashion with my day job. And I know there is a lot of stress involved and there's a lot of work that gets involved. So it's not a 9 to 5 job. So I appreciate what you guys do and really looking forward to seeing this presentation. It's been great.
Yeah. this is going to be a good one. That track is going to have a lot of good talks, and I think this is going to be one of the best ones in there. A lot of people just look at this as like kind of a mysterious area. They don't, darknet, the dark web, all of those. That's scary. It's like, let's shine some light on it, man. Let's put some light in those tunnels. That's good stuff.
Yeah. We can't wait to lift the veil and show that the threat actors are also people that can be social engineered as well. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this, I know it wasn't necessarily a social engineering, but just knowing that they're vulnerable to attack just like anybody else, like in the article, right? I mean, they're all going to mess up at some point. So
yes,
and it just, if you're in the right place at the right time and you can find them, let's take that one off the list, get somebody else. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Any parting thoughts, Sean, Kaloyan?
Well, I can't wait to visit Houston and to talk at HOU.SEC.CON, to see you guys in person, and to meet the audience there.
we're going to have a phenomenal time. We're going to have a phenomenal time, and we're going to make sure that Kaloyan is able to get some barbecue while he's here.
I was about to say that. I was about to say, you better make sure Kaloyan gets some barbecue while he's in town.
Definitely.
He's not going to want to go back.
No.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Sam, anything on your side?
Nope. Another great presentation. And if you're listening and you don't have your ticket yet, you are don't miss out. Go get your ticket. And I am the sales guy, so I have to say that. But it is important, right? It's going to be a great conference. Lots of great content, including this one. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. 10 tracks of goodness. It's going to be a lot of stuff. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us on episode 47, and we will see you soon on episode 48. Have a good one.